Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that all-digital future once again, and a pretty big drawback for it, and that's the possibility of games being delisted or even just completely removed from your library, something we saw technically with Grand Theft Auto Trilogy. After there were a lot of issues with that, it was actually removed from access for people, even if they had purchased it. But we have seen games just get delisted and removed. Something like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World was a very good example until it was finally brought back. We've also talked about different car games like Drive Club or Forza, even the most recent Forza being removed, that one before Forza Horizon 5, which just came out. Well, it looks like we have another game that's been delisted, and it seemed to cause quite a stir online. But looking at it, to be honest, it kind of makes sense based on the situation. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if new here to the Spawn Wave Plus channel, make sure you subscribe down below. So first, let's talk about the game that got delisted. Is actually Titanfall. This is from Respawn saying, Titanfall is part of our DNA at Respawn. It's a game that showcased the ambitions of the studio when it was first released more than 7 years ago, and it continues to be a beacon of innovation that we strive for in all of our games. We've made the decision to discontinue new sales of the original Titanfall game starting today, and we'll be removing the game from subscription services on March 1st, 2022. We will, however, be keeping servers live for the dedicated fan base still playing and those who own the game and are looking to drop into a match. So, looking at this, with the original Titanfall, it had a lot of issues. Like, there were a lot of hackers. It was getting hit with DDoS attacks. In fact, if you look at like the headline from PC Gamer, it says after years of struggling against DDoS attacks, Titanfall is being removed from sale. If you look over on Steam, it's currently sitting with a mixed for recent reviews and mostly negative for all reviews. And the reasoning for that is mostly because it appeared that EA and Respawn had just forgotten about the game. I mean, there's like no one playing this thing. If you look on Steam for concurrent player count, it's like 10 people or something at any given time actually playing Titanfall. And if you've played this Titanfall, there's not much you're going to do when it comes to single player content at all. Titanfall 2 at least has a very, very good campaign. So having that be delisted would be a massive deal. Like, that would be the point where it's like, whoa, hold on. You're delisting Titanfall 2. However, I feel like if you have the choice between the original Titanfall or Titanfall 2, you're going to pick Titanfall 2 like 99 times out of 100. However, this does, once again, bring up the drawbacks of a digital future where there is no physical copy of Titanfall. It can just be removed off of digital storefronts and even subscription services, which is a strange one as well, considering they're going to leave the servers up. You feel like it's just added content or added benefit for the EA Play subscription that you can just go in there and grab Titanfall and just try it out if you want with the other 10 people. I think the biggest issue here is they have said before that there's a couple of people running support on Titanfall now as their primary focus is on Apex Legends. And I mean, they're making a lot of money from Apex Legends. It's an ongoing free-to-play live service game, so it makes sense why you would take the primary workforce that you have to hold up some of these games and move it over to the thing that is making your company the most money. The big issue here, and something I noticed, is it does kind of give off the perception that Respawn doesn't really care as much about Titanfall. That's one of the biggest things that I saw in the comments below this announcement over on Twitter. And yeah, I kind of see why. I mean, think about it. They could have gone in and done some work if they wanted to Titanfall and added more people to run support on it, maybe fix the DDoSing, the hacking. But then I guess they looked at it and said, well, Titanfall 2 is just an overall better game. People should just play that. And there are people still playing Titanfall 2, which is really cool to see that. It seemed like it almost had a bit of a resurgence somewhat recently when we had like FPS boost and everything that was added to the Xbox Series version of the game. And of course, it's just in EA Play. You can download it and try it out. Otherwise, though, Titanfall 2 is like always on sale for less than $10. It's an absolute steal just with the campaign alone. That is a phenomenal playthrough. I would certainly give it a look if you haven't. It's just more, like I said, the thought that the Titanfall franchise overall is kind of on the back burner to the point where they're just going to basically delist Titanfall completely. At least the servers are still staying up, so if you do want to get on and just try it out for whatever reason, you can do that. But in a future where it's just digital copies, well, if you didn't buy it, that's it. You can't get the game after they delist it and remove it from subscription services. So something else to think about as we head towards that inevitable all digital future. But let me know what you guys think about this one down below. I think something that'll be really cool is if they do have some sort of new Titanfall game at least ready to show here soon, a Titanfall 3, to kind of reinvigorate the overall fan base that certainly took a bit of a shot here today with the delisting of the original Titanfall game. Maybe it's something that they have planned and ready to go for the Game Awards here next week. That'd be a pretty hype announcement, wouldn't it? Titanfall 3. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.